I'm a little confused here. Why are there two presenters in the same place?
Welcome to the Launch Student Conference, Boisington. I'm going to walk you through how to ace that next interview, and we are definitely throwing some AI in. Hey, real quick, let's listen to Sabrina Carpenter real quick, telling everyone good luck.
Oh, good. Yeah, to stop the world, just to stop the fear.
We want to wish you good luck landing that dream job one day. I'm Corinne from Fairchance Learning in Newmarket, Canada, and my MC for the next 40 minutes or so is Salaha. She's here to help answer any questions that you might have, and she's amazing from Fairchance Learning as well. Today's agenda at the Launch Student Conference, we're going to check out interview skills, some AI digital skills and tools, and we definitely want to celebrate. We call that Let's Sell. I write several books about technology for Nelson Education in Canada. I'm writing a new AI book right now, and I always like to introduce my family. So, you know who I am. I have 6 children, and well, now 8 grandchildren. Well, this is what they really look like when they're not taking the official photograph. But let's hop into this action packed session. We want to break down the interview at each stage so you feel prepared and ready to roll. We're going to show you ways to practice those questions for the interview, and we really want to empower you to become a change maker. Artificial intelligence has really started something called the Great Reset. According to the World Economic Forum, the jobs that you might apply for might be different. How you might apply for them is totally going to be changed. How you will perform during them, how you can prep for them. Let me show you what I mean by the Great AI Reset. According to the World Economic Forum, the skills that employers are looking for are different than what they used to be. It used to be, well, memorize, get perfect grades in school, life is great. And still, those things could be important. But some skills on the rise that they're looking for on your resume and for you to mention during the interview, number one is creative thinking. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, instead of just being boring and out of the box, we can show our true selves and bring what makes us unique to the table. Make sure these are the words that you're actually putting on your resume and mentioning. Being more technologically literate, more than knowing how to play a game or messaging or Insta. I mean, really understanding how to leverage technology to be productive can include things like AI. I'll show you in a moment. Curiosity, lifelong learning. And everybody look at number 7. It says AI and big data. It turns out that 90% of jobs are looking to see if you know more than making a knock knock joke at ChatGPT, that you really know how to leverage some of these really cool tools. And creativity is something that really is starting to shift. They need someone at every job in the world that can really have a unique twist, bring new ideas, bring new ways to have new products and beyond. So that's what they're really looking at interviews today. Now, let me just show you an industry with creativity and AI to show you an example. So recently, when you used to build a house, you would probably hire an architect. It would take months to draw out your house that you would like to have. You would need to hire a construction team and electric and all those. Before you break ground, if you're building a new house, it might take 6 months, it might take a year to find property. Let me show you how that's changing in North America. Listen in.
The big vision of Vitruvius is to go all the way from human desire all the way through delivery. So like construction documents, budgets, schedules, even robotic instructions.
The program already lets you design a home with detailed floor plan. The future, Ballard said, will include electrical, structural, plumbing, and mechanical in delivered plan, all to make the usually pricey process cheaper and faster.
I'd like a log cabin style vacation ski home.
Vitruvius asks you questions and learns from your answers, incorporating knowledge from every design it's ever seen.
I'd like an open floor plan for a family event.
I tried it out with Ballard's help.
It's got the fireplace in your bedroom, as you have asked. And it's a traditional log cabin style, as you have asked.
Text prompt.
This looks expensive. Can you make the more affordable?
Lead to nearly instant renderings.
The kitchen's smaller.
Everything is smaller. Everything's a little more basic.
Architects aren't going to love you very much.
I have no doubt that tools like this are going to change the way that we do things.
So, no matter what career path or section that you're going into, I want you to kind of research what's happening in AI. You say, how do I do that? Simply head to YouTube and type in what kind of job you're thinking about and the letters AI. Start to see so that if someone asks you about new future technologies, that you're able to have that discussion during your interview and beyond.
Okay, I do not understand what's going on here, but I apologize to all those that are attending. I'm going to present my presentation now. Um, for some reason, they put two people in the same room, so apologize for their incompetence. So I am Matt. I am the Director of Programs with Mind Trust Leadership. We are a charity focused on youth leadership development. So I have a short presentation with some interactive parts for you to take part in. And at any point in time, please feel free to put questions in the chat and I will address them. So why am I here today? I'm here to talk about our youth leadership program, which is a 12-hour interactive leadership training and mentoring program. It's all about helping youth develop the soft skills that are necessary in their careers. Uh, as you're in high school, perhaps you're considering going into post-secondary next year or the year after, depending on how old you are. The universities and colleges are not necessarily providing you with the skills that you need to thrive. They are focused perhaps on technical skills or developing certain competencies, but it's not necessarily something that will help you be successful. So our program is 12 hours long. We deliver it in a variety of formats, either fully in person or in a hybrid online and in-person format. So our programs, we have a variety of different topics that we cover, including things like leadership and personal style, effective decision making, the kind of impact that we can have on a community. And then we wrap it up with a one-on-one mentoring session with a variety of community leaders, whether they're from business or from government, education, not-for-profit, and charitable sectors. It really depends on the particular cohort and who's available. So this is just a quote from one of our alumni talking about what the experience was like for them. So it's all about helping and empowering and encouraging young people to see the potential that they have as a leader. So I'm going to play a short video about our programs.
There is leadership ability inside everyone. And I know some people think about leadership as what you do when you are at the top. So CEOs lead, presidents lead, prime ministers lead, but really everyone can lead. And I think that's one of the things that Mind Trust really helps open people's minds to.
Mind Trust is for primarily youth who are interested in understanding more about leadership and how they can apply leadership skills to every part of their life.
How to be a better leader, how to be a more effective leader, how to lead without necessarily demanding things of others.
For us, leadership is all about folks who want to take a lead, who want to step up, who want to take the responsibility of leading people around them to a better future.
To learn from each other, to learn from mentors and advisors, the leadership skills that are not just professional skills, they're life skills.
The ability to communicate better, to bring people together to find a common way of achieving an objective of any sort. But there's something about bringing leaders in from the community who understand the local issues, who understand what the participants have gone through in their journeys and will probably go through as they go through their lives.
Many of the young people that come to the program are already leaders, but maybe they don't realize that they are leaders. There's something within them that is driving them to improve their leadership skills. By the end of the programs, normally many of them say, "Oh, I didn't realize that I'm already on my journey. I had already started on my journey before I came to Mind Trust, and Mind Trust gave me the formal training, the frameworks in order to become a better leader."
When you begin to understand what a leader truly is and begin to sometimes see some of those qualities in yourself, it gives you some level of confidence that, oh, I'm okay.
It really helped me better understand myself. And through that process, I was able to fully develop and become a leader within my community.
Really helped me to see where I'm going, to check my plan for the future with them and see if it makes sense or not.
And to be able to learn from such a perspective really opened my mind to the possibilities of what one can achieve in the world.
A lot of people have trouble stepping into that leadership role because they believe they're not a leader, they're not worthy of being a leader, and they're not confident with themselves, but everybody can be a leader in a different way. Get to know that side of you, that leadership side of you, because within that, you can honestly do anything. Join the Mind Trust program.
Okay, so I have a question here in the chat about will the program help you in high school as well? Yes, so the program is open to youth from 16 to 29. We have a variety of different age ranges in each of our cohorts. Typically, we see people that are in high school joining when we run a March break program or immediately after the school year or immediately before the start of the next school year. Okay, so we're going to make this interactive. So if you scan the QR code or go to menti.com, menti.com, and put the code 54708153, and then just we're getting started with a very simple question of what's your first name? I'll give you a few minutes to get going. Yes, our programs are from 16 onward, but we are looking for participants for our program starting in January. So uh, if you're not 16 yet, but you will be in the new year, then absolutely you'd be able to join our program. Okay, seeing some names come up. All right, so clearly people are getting into this. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. Just a better understanding of who I'm talking to. How old are you? Okay, so we have some younger people. Okay, just wait another 10 seconds and then move on. Okay, so where do you live? We offer programs in the Ottawa area. We are looking to expand next year to communities elsewhere in Eastern Ontario. But for those that are in the GTA, unfortunately, we don't offer programming in your area. Okay, looks like mostly Ottawa, so that's good. We hope to be able to have you as participants in our program. Okay, so now getting into some of the leadership related material. So one thing that's often discussed is, are leaders born or made? So born meaning that it's a genetic thing that you have a predisposition to having that ability. Uh, Made being that you develop those skills through training, through experience, through mentorship. It looks like most people are going with made. So that's very much what we believe at Mind Trust. We believe that leadership is a skill that you can develop through practice, through experience, through mentorship. So we offer our programs so that young people have the opportunity to develop that skill, are able to build the confidence to take on leadership roles, that they have the opportunity to learn from other leaders who have been in their shoes before. Okay, so what are the most important qualities or skills that you think a leader should have? Okay, great. Communication, competence, multiple responses for communication. Absolutely. That's very, very critical. Problem solving. Yeah, respectfulness. That's very good. Often people have this idea of what leaders should be, and they think about them being in a position of power, but it's all about treating others well because you, as a leader, want to develop the leader in others as well. And these are great words coming up. Agree with all of them. Emotional intelligence is something that we focus on in our programs as well. How developing empathy, understanding other people's perspectives makes you better as an individual and as a leader. Yeah, these are all fantastic words. I'll just wait another 30 seconds, see if there's anything else coming up. Yeah, so some of these things are things we directly address in our program, decision making. We look at a variety of frameworks and models so that you can become a more effective decision maker. What else do we have here? Critical thinking, that's something that we do focus on as well. Self-awareness, we do assessments to understand our own individual leadership style and how we differ from others and how that impacts our ability to work with others. Yeah, fantastic. That's great. So I'm just going to move along to the next slide. So now I want to see where you're thinking. What is an example of a great leader in your opinion? Okay, a bold answer, but uh, if you have those leadership skills, then that's great to acknowledge that. Okay, yeah, people often look up to family members, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, etc. Okay, so we're getting some public figures, some of whom are well respected as leaders, and others who um, are more controversial in nature. Just wait another 30 seconds. Okay. All right, we'll move along. So, for you personally, are there any skills that you would like to develop or improve so that you can be more successful in your careers? Okay, to be brave, so to have more confidence, sure. Public speaking, yeah, absolutely. That's something that we focus on a lot in our program. So as I mentioned in the final session, before the one-on-one mentoring sessions, all of the participants present their personal leadership statement, where they present to the whole group what it is that they would like to do as a leader. What community would they like to have an impact on, and what's their vision for that community, and how are they going to go about doing that? Okay, that's great. Lots of great things here. It's very important to have a lot of these skills, resilience. The world is changing constantly. Being able to adapt to those changes is very important. And being disciplined, very good as well. There are many things in life that we don't want to do, that we have to address, that we have to deal with, and maintaining that discipline is quite a challenge at times. Setting clear goals, absolutely. Goal setting is one of the most important things in leadership because you need to have an idea of what it is that you're trying to achieve, develop a strategy for achieving that, and then afterwards measure your success based on what your goals actually were. So yeah, that's lots of great words here, lots of great ideas. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to move along. And I want to open up to questions. If you have any questions about uh, what it means to develop leadership as a skill, about our programming, we have a booth set up in the main area as well. So uh, there are documents there about our programs as well as the video is there too. There's a QR code that you can scan to get to our program application page as well. How did you become a leader, Matt? Well, honestly, it was a result of being pushed forward by others. That they pushed me to take on the opportunities to get out and speak in front of others, to to educate, to display that I have abilities. How much was that? The program is completely free. We are a charity. We are funded through a variety of sources, including from the city of Ottawa. So the programming is available free of charge to the participants. How do you stay a leader? Well, being a leader means that you are constantly developing over time. It's not, oh, you become a leader and then you don't change. You're constantly learning from others and developing new skills and abilities so that it's all about a growth mindset that you want to keep improving. Where do I start with not programs, but where do I start in personal life, social, etc.? I assume this means where do you start to become a leader? In that case, it's all about taking opportunities that come up. People will say that the most important thing is showing up, and that's very true. Taking initiative and taking on projects, being reliable, dependable, someone that can be relied upon is very, very important. So take those opportunities, whether it's volunteering, whether it's a club or organization at your school. Take those opportunities and find and seek out mentors that can guide you along that journey. How do you know if you're a good leader? Well, people will typically tell you that they appreciate your leadership if you are demonstrating some of those values, some of those qualities that we just showed on the previous slide. Is there a wait list? Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, we have a rolling application process. So when people submit applications, we will contact them to learn more about them, to make sure that they understand what it is that they're getting into. And then depending on when the next cohort is scheduled for, you'll be invited to join that. What top 3 qualities do you think make a leader? Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many to pick from, but I think it comes down to empathy, communication, and dependability. So somebody's asking the best quality of leadership. I think at the end of the day, empathy is the most important thing. You need to be able to relate to others. You need to understand where they're coming from, and that makes it possible for you to communicate effectively with them. If you could give one piece of advice to anyone, like the general public, what would you say? I think people just need to be more self-aware, understand that we all have different experiences, we all come from different places, and not everybody is going to see through the same lens as us. So we can be better people by understanding ourselves, because then we'll be more open to understanding others. Sorry, I have 2 screens here. It's a little difficult to see this question. What's the difference between an average leader and a great leader? I think an average leader maybe focuses on certain aspects of leadership, like goal setting, how to manage people, because there's a difference between management and leadership. Management is very much about resources, whether it's people or money or things. But great leaders really make it clear to those that they're leading that they are interested in knowing what they think is right, and making sure that they are aligned and moving forward on a journey together. What does the program entail? What do people in the program do? So it's a 12-hour program. We offer it in a few different formats. So one is an evening program where it'll be 6 weeks in a row, 2-hour sessions, and the other is 3 days of 4-hour sessions. So the program, if it's in the format of the 3 days, the first day is all about looking inward, understanding yourself better. What matters to you? What are your personal core values? What is your personal leadership style? and then understanding how that affects the way that you deal with others. The second day is about building skills. We focus on how to be an effective decision maker, how we can make an impact in a community, how we measure the outcomes that we have and that impact as well. And then the final day, the participants present their personal leadership statements and then have the opportunity to have one-on-one mentoring sessions with community leaders. Do you believe that everyone can become a good leader? Not everyone, but almost everyone. There are certain people that don't wish to do good on the rest of society, but those are a very small percentage of the population. But most people can become a good leader if they are willing to put in the effort, put in the time to develop those skills and to keep practicing it. What are the different leadership styles? Well, there are a variety of different assessments that can be used, but the one that we use, it essentially plots you on a quadrant with 4 different types. So analytical, amiable, expressive, and driver. The analytical types are the typical accountant types, people that are maybe into computer programming that are very focused on data. The amiables are the people pleasers, the ones that don't wish to rock the boat. The expressives are the ones that are very interested in demonstrating their emotions, communicating with others, whereas the drivers are very task-oriented, want to get things done. But you don't necessarily fit into one of those categories completely. You could be somewhere in between, and then that affects how you see the world as well. How can you avoid being overwhelmed as a leader? Well, balance is very, very important. And how you achieve that balance will depend on what it is that you're doing and who you are personally. For most people that are successful, they find a way to manage their time, whether it's just through their basic scheduling using calendars, whether it's setting time aside each day to do things that make sure that they relieve the stress that comes from work. It really depends on the individual. So how do you manage time as a leader, a student, and an athlete, since you might want to do several things, but there may be too much on your plate? So that's where you prioritize things. What is it that is of most importance or value to you? What do you care the most about? What's your passion? What are you good at? And what is necessary in the world, something that you can choose as a career going forward. So you want to decide based on those kind of criteria, thinking about what you really care about, but other people need as well. I'm a perfectionist. Is that a good or bad thing in leadership? It's neither. That's just how you are. And you have to overcome that in certain ways. I understand that as well. I was very much that way when I was younger, and I didn't feel like doing things if I wasn't going to be able to put 100% of my energy and effort into that. So it's just something that you need to mitigate. You need to understand that things can't be perfect. You can strive for perfection, but you have to accept the imperfections that are going to happen, because what's perfect to one person is imperfect to another. So people have different perspectives on that, and you're never going to get people in complete agreement on that. You talked about things good leaders do, but what are some things that they should absolutely not do? Oh, that's a very, very good question. So one thing that we discuss in the early part of the program is this idea of leadership from within. So a leader from within is represented by the things that we've already talked about. The leader from without is the type of stereotypically bad leader, someone that is only concerned with things like power or money or status, that they aren't concerned about providing others with the opportunity to succeed, that they don't care about providing recognition to others. They claim that they have done it all alone, even when others had impact on whatever it was that was being done. Things like that. Yes, I see a hand raised. BP, maybe you can ask your question through the chat. So which leadership style are you? I fit into the analytical category. I'm very focused on data, on information, which is something that I have to be conscious of, that sometimes it's just impossible to know everything. And so you have to make decisions. You need to be smart about making decisions. You don't want to make decisions too quickly, but there's a point in time where if you don't make a decision, the decision is made by itself. Another hand raised. If you have questions, can you just put it in the Q&A or add it to the Menti file? Of the leadership styles, which is the best and most effective? None of them. That's not really the way of looking at it. Essentially, all of the styles have advantages and disadvantages. It's all about understanding what your way of looking at things is and how that will affect the way that you communicate with others, because your way of seeing things is not necessarily the same as others. If you have a group of people that are very similar in their personal leadership style, they may not be the most effective team because they're looking at a problem from the same perspective. Diversity in thought, experience, background is very important. The best teams are made up of people that don't see things from the same perspective. So it doesn't matter what that perspective is, as long as you have openness to others and that you are aware of your own limitations. Okay, so it's almost 6:40, so I'm just going to wrap things up now. Thank you all for attending and for your fantastic questions and input. Really appreciate that. So if you're interested in the program, please feel free to scan the QR code here. Then you have the application form. You can reach out to me at any time if you have any questions about the programs. I will put my email in the chat. But otherwise, thank you all very much for attending. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a great evening.